The day after a deadly rampage at the Lapu-Lapu Day party, questions are being raised about whether police did enough to secure the event.
The police are there. They're there in the neighborhood. We're just not marching up and down the street, and we're not putting concrete barriers up with big dump trucks.
Vancouver police defending their deployment at the block party. The VPD oversees more than 3,000 public events in a year and says a risk assessment with the city and event organizers determined that heavy barricades and major police presence were not warranted.
Scanning all of social media, is there anyone out there making threats on this event? Is there a potential pop-up demonstration? Is there somebody associated to this event that has a history with people? We also look at the past history of the event. So last year, I had mentioned earlier, there were 0 interactions with police at this festival. It was a family-friendly cultural celebration involving kids.
30-year-old Kai G. Adam Lowe has now been charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder. Police say he's had a long history of interactions with police related to mental illness, but none in the last couple of days.
We did not, from our knowledge at this point, have previous interactions leading up to this event. Immediately leading up to this event.
The police, along with Mayor Ken Sim, calling this tragedy a mental health issue, not a public safety issue.
We do need mandatory care for people with significant mental health challenges or substance use disorder. It's the most humane thing to do. We have people on the streets who cannot direct their own care, and they're causing harm to themselves and other people.
It's not policing the symptom. We got to get to the root cause. We got to get people help. And it's not putting more cops on the street.
Mayor Sim says the city will conduct a full review into police handling of major community events. In Vancouver, Cecila Hua, City News.
Apprehension on the morning of one of Vancouver's largest sporting events. Organizers of the Vancouver Sun Run proceeded with the annual event following clearance from the VPD. A large police presence was established along the 10-kilometer route as a safety precaution for both competitors and spectators. In a show of solidarity and support, competitors stood for a moment of silence at the start line to honor the victims of the Lapu-Lapu tragedy. The sporting community has also been taking a moment to remember those who have been impacted by the tragedy. The Vancouver Whitecaps honoring the victims before their match today. A moment of silence was observed before their game in St. Paul against Minnesota United. Players and coaches held up the Philippine flag as the crowd fell silent and bowed their heads as they remembered those who have been affected by last night's incident. The Whitecaps on their social media saying their hearts are with the victims, their families, and Vancouver's Filipino community.